Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 581 based on novel. So let's start. The two collided, and the shockwave generated in an instant was extremely terrifying. It actually shook the entire void violently. Immediately, one after another crack-like spacetime cracks continued to climb out of the void. Terrifying. The beam of destruction transformed by the evil devil baby fell, and it seemed to carry some kind of destructive power that Xiao Yang had never seen before, and instantly peeled off all the defenses that the demon Xiao Yang had cast, without waiting for the devil Xiao Yang to react. The opportunity hit the demon Xiao Yang heavily. For a time, Xiao Yang only felt that his skin, flesh, and soul seemed to be gnawed by some evil spirit, and the fear that penetrated into the soul slowly climbed into his heart. The pain of spasm transmitted from the flesh and blood. It also caused Xiao Yang's body to tremble slightly. But the devil's power did not show any signs of retreating, and it was frantically resisting the opponent like a wild beast. Bumble. Time passed slowly, the body of the demon Xiao Yang kept retreating. It seemed that he would be blasted away by the beam of destruction in the next moment, and the situation was extremely dangerous for a time. However, at such a critical moment, the corner of the demon Xiao Yang's mouth raised an intriguing smile, and then a monstrous demon's brilliance rose up, making the entire dark void completely changed in just an instant. This guy. At this time, all the power of the demon baby turned into a beam of destruction, constantly resisting and killing the demon Xiao Yang, but the only remaining consciousness suddenly realized something. Bang! Then let's see, who of us can hold on to the end? Demon Xiao Yang laughed wildly, and then there were actually drops of demon blood gushing out from the corners of his mouth. As soon as it poured out, it moistened on the demon robes fluttering in the wind, making the demon's aura even more terrifying. Boom! For a time, in this dark and cold realm, two rebellious and stubborn creatures launched a ****** battle here, but in a short period of time, the winner could not be determined. At the beginning, with the passage of time, the demon Xiao Yang became more and more familiar with the control of demon power. The demigod order shackles that had never moved in his body also began to appear faint cracks. As for the evil demon baby on the side, it was also furious at this time, and could only continue to attack the demon Xiao Yang. Beyond the realm of the Buddha. As the Dacian world allied forces attacked by surprise troops, the troops were divided into three groups to attack the base camp outside the Buddha realm, and the entire foreign evil clan was caught off guard, and the huge foreign evil clan had already lost a lot. Today, the entire dim Buddhist world is constantly emitting bursts of roaring vibrations, and the sounds of monstrous battles can be heard incessantly. However, outside the core basin of the Buddha world, at this time, there are many ***** coffins emerging, intertwined with each other, and there will be vague connections between them. The core base camp outside the domain is completely shrouded in the demon temple. A huge shadow shrouded the sky, and the dark and cold aura made people shudder, as if there were some kind of shocking and terrifying fluctuations hidden in the blood mist in the basin. Lord Holy King! Now the army of the evil tribes from outside the territory sent to intercept our three-way coalition army has been defeated by us, and they can no longer compete with our army in the front. But now the countless blood coffins appearing in the void of this basin have formed an invisible and strange formation. This great formation seems to be illusory, but I don't know why, but there is a hidden murderous intention in it. Some of our reincarnation-level powerhouses step into it, but there is no return. Above the mountains and ravines in the Buddhist realm, clusters of unusually hot rays of light appeared, and immediately purify and evaporate the evil aura of this world. Now the three forces attacking the Buddhist world have completely converged here, but only Xiao Yang has disappeared. Among the three parties, the Holy King killed the largest number of evil powerhouses, followed by Xiao Tianming, and finally Xiao Yang and the four mistresses. However, it was strange to say that, apart from Xiao Yang's encounter with the Heavenly Protector and Fa's obstruction, the alliance of the other two did not see any evil powerhouse whose strength exceeded the 9 reincarnation rank. In the first confrontation between the two powerhouses, it was too easy to win, so now that the three-party coalition forces have gathered, the hearts of countless coalition powerhouses are more serious. The Holy King and Xiao Tianming looked at each other, and then they looked at the blood coffins in some strange arrangement in the distant void. Above the blood coffin, there are countless smells of ancient vicissitudes. Even if you look at it from a distance, a heavy dizziness hits your face. It can make both of them demigod rank powerhouses feel such a powerful pressure, and the pressure on other reincarnation rank powerhouses is even greater. Xiao Yang. It seems that he was brought into an unknown realm by the four guardians of the evil tribes outside the realm, the heavenly guardian of the law, and the law. After a while, Zuna walked out of the coalition army, looked at the two big men with a calm expression and said, "In this way, the other leaders have never appeared." Hearing this, the Holy King frowned. The army is back on defense. Suddenly, the Holy King seemed to have noticed something, stood up suddenly, and his eyes suddenly fell to the end of this world. At the moment when his expression suddenly changed, the aura of this world suddenly became gloomy and cold, and countless evil forces poured down like a majestic rain. "Everyone, let's say goodbye to these humans. Ha ha ha." In an instant, the entire world suddenly became dark, and turbid energy evil shadows gushed out of the fog in the blood-colored basin out of thin air, as if they had been waiting here for countless years. At the moment when the voice sounded, the Holy King and others shrank their eyes tightly, and then stared at the countless blood coffins in the sky at the same time. At this time, above the blood coffins exuding ancient fluctuations, lifelike figures suddenly emerged. The blood coffins are lined up with each other, and among the figures appearing on them, there are many terrifying beings that are equal to the Holy King and others, and even in the large formation behind the blood coffins, there are still countless evil creatures lurking in the eye. These guys. At this moment, Kaelin's eyes shrank slightly, and the expressions of the three mistresses beside him also became extraordinarily dignified, raising their heads to look at the evil figures on the blood coffin. There seems to be a trace of terrifying power spreading out in the big formation now. The quantity and quality of evil creatures, terror is the real heritage of the alien race, the pinnacle of the demigod order, the heavenly demon Holy Emperor. And now there are all the reincarnation-level powerhouses left in the evil clan outside the territory. Xiao Tianming stared at this formation, his eyes fixed on it. Even if the other party had not yet appeared, he could clearly feel the pressure fluctuations. It was only at this moment that Xiao Tianming knew that the reason why these guys didn't show up was that they were led into the depths of the Buddhist world with some shrimp soldiers and shrimp, trying to catch them all in one go. In this battle, the real decisive battle between the great Thousand World Allied forces and the evil races outside the territory also started completely. In the gloomy and dead core of the Buddha realm, with the shroud of that strange formation, countless thousands of allied troops faltered, as if the formation was filled with some kind of magic, making it insurmountable. Even outside the formation, with the appearance of those mysterious blood coffins, countless elites, leaders, and tens of thousands of evil spirits from outside the territory who had long since disappeared appeared in the gloomy formation. "It took a lot of life from our clan to finally introduce you to this place." On the blood coffin, there are constantly complex and evil patterns surging throughout the body. Among them, the heavenly demon Sacred Emperor is wearing a blood-colored armor, stepping on the blood coffin with high toes, blood lingering in his eyes. Obviously for the current scene, they took great pains to do so. "Have you been beaten?" As soon as the voice of the heavenly demon Holy Emperor fell, the core of this Buddhist world changed strangely. Countless gloomy black mists continued to overflow from the blood coffin and the great formation, and as soon as they came out, they completely enveloped the whole world and suppressed them. For a time, a very strong suffocating aura enveloped the hearts of everyone in the Great Thousand Alliance army. All the channels that connect the Buddhist world to the outside world have been completely isolated by this formation. It seems that they want to fight us to the death again. Yaroji, several mistresses, and others also noticed the terrifying aspects of the formation, and spoke immediately. "Go ahead." In the face of the hidden murderous move of the other party's evil clan, the Holy King and others looked at each other, and then looked at the place where there was no way to retreat, and the pupils also flashed with an unprecedented perseverance. In this long period of time, the Great Thousand Worlds and the evil races from outside the territory have already fought countless times, but in the end they were unable to completely open up the situation of evenness. Now that the leader of the outside world is not there, it is the best time to wipe out the evil clan from the outside world. If we don't fight now, when will we wait? The Big Thousand will win. Kill. Bang bang bang. In an instant, all the powerhouses on both sides also started to attack frontally for the first time. This battle, I am afraid you don't need to think about it, it will be extremely tragic, because it is related to the future situation of the Great Thousand World and the foreign evil race. If the Great Thousand Coalition army is defeated, it will be swallowed up by the foreign evil race without the black and white scorching sun formation. If the foreign evil race is defeated, the threat to countless creatures in the Great Thousand World is only the black and white scorching sun. This battle is the key. And with the start of such a tragic battle in the core of the Buddha realm, another battle in the mysterious void gradually began to take shape. Boom. Heavenly Protector, FA's whole life's hard work and the strength left behind by the leader of the outside world, the all-out attack, easily disintegrated Xiao Yang's demonic power, nibbled away little by little, and destroyed Xiao Yang. Today's evil beam of light is like a sharp blade that judges the devil, punishing everything Xiao Yang without reservation. On the skin, there were bursts of burning pain, and the power of the devil began to slowly subside, and even the power of the 10-layer shrine and the core inscriptions in the body trembled at the same time. The attack of the opponent's life-threatening blow has reached the real magic level, and Xiao Yang today may be difficult to deal with. The bones in the body began to make bursts of pleasant sounds, and the skin, nose, mouth and ears began to have hot blood leaking out, and the whole situation seemed extremely grim. Susu. Become my container. Feeling that the demon servant behind the demon Xiao Yang gradually disappeared, the vitality in the opponent's body was also rapidly weakening, and there was a ruthless sneer in the evil beam of light. Its birth is naturally just an energy creature bred by a god-level exercise, but if it can get Xiao Yang's body, it can live in a new way. Tianshang stepped into the god-level exercises and was at the pinnacle of the demigod level. With the addition of Xiao Yang's terrifying existence, his new life would probably become the invincible existence among the extraterrestrial evil races, second only to the extraterrestrial. Is there no way? The demon Xiao Yang let out a low murmur, and then the corners of his eyes were very heavy. He just wanted to gather all the power in his body to deliver a fatal blow, but some ancient power began to recover in his body. That is 5 spirit beads related to the mystery of the fighting ****** surging. They spun and merged with each other, and they danced vaguely in the 10th floor shrine, as if they were calling for some power. For a moment, there were some changes in the shrine. It was a very faint thread of light, and the weak one could be said to be insignificant, but at this time, the 10th floor shrine was shaking slightly, and a small and exquisite lotus leaf flickered strangely from the spirit palace. The moment the lotus leaves flickered, all the power in Xiao Yang's body instantly solidified, as if there was some kind of fluctuation that surpassed the sky and the earth, slowly overflowing from it. Disregarding the crisis around him, he focused his attention away with the only remaining mind. It was a lotus leaf the size of a thumb. There was a drop of crystal clear water on the lotus leaf. There seemed to be thousands of pictures flashing through the haze, but Xiao Yang saw his own figure from the water droplets. This is me. Although he couldn't believe this scene, Xiao Yang couldn't help but blurt out. Among the water droplets on the lotus leaves, there are some vague pictures looming. In the picture are a little girl who is about 10 years old and a figure exactly like himself. There are all things in heaven and earth, and I am the king of this heaven and earth. There's not much time left for you. It's time to wake up. At this moment, an old voice pierced through the soul and radiated from the lotus leaf in the spiritual palace. As soon as the sound came out, it turned into profound energy, like a downpour, turning into countless fluorescent lights rushing out. This, impossible. How can you have the power of God in you? Countless fluorescent lights burst out from Xiao Yang's body, and immediately before Xiao Yang could do anything about it, a frightening sound of fear broke out from the evil beam of light. The fluorescent light emanating from Xiao Yang's body, and the sound of ancient vicissitudes, even the capital outside the territory never had it. He is a mere demigod. Why does he have this kind of power? Could it be? Is he really related to the god of war? The son of the fighting god? Although I don't know what's going on here, senior. I'll help you with the rest. This world I will protect it myself. Between the words, the whole strange and evil realm instantly solidified, and traces of sacred flames gushed out from Xiao Yang's body. World. At this moment, the 5th realm of Fenju, which had been stagnant in Xiao Yang's body, was also hitting the shackles like a matter of course. Even the strength of the latter extended from the level of demigods to that more terrifying realm. After a demigod, a quasi-god. And after stepping into the quasi-god, you can attack the fighting god. But in this world, there seems to be a lack of ways to attack the fighting god. Endless Fire Territory, Yunchi Mansion. Now, as the Great Thousand allied forces are attacking outside the territory together, the vast world of the Great Thousand seems to be empty. Even in the Endless Fire Territory that was prosperous in the past, the voices are dead silent at this time, and countless people are praying quietly in their hearts. In the Endless Fire Territory, Yun Qi and Yuan Yang have both become the real core of the Endless Fire Territory. Nowadays, things like refining medicine, soul attainments, and battle formation master attainments are all from the two women gushed out. Hiss. In the hall, Yun Qi was concentrating on painting at the desk, but unexpectedly, his heart suddenly trembled, and the embroidery pen in his hand fell on the scroll, interrupting the portrait in the scroll. Sister Yunchi, what's going on? Seeing this, Yuan Yang, who was sitting beside him concentrating on the formation lines, raised a chubby cheek and said with a puzzled expression. Yuan Yang didn't know the specific reason, but from her intuition, she always felt that something was wrong with Sister Yun Qi ever since she came to the Endless Fire Realm. She couldn't tell exactly what was wrong. No, don't know. It just feels like something has pierced my heart viciously just now, and my heart hurts like acupuncture. Yun Qi shook his head, but the latter's face was very pale at this time, apparently being frightened in some way. In an instant, in the depths of the soul palace in the body, there seems to be an ethereal figure, which is becoming solid little by little, and it is about to come out. By the way, Sister Yun Qi, what are you painting? Looks like a little girl. Looking at Yun Qi's appearance, Yuan Yang also turned his attention to the picture scroll on the desk. On the picture scroll is a little girl who looks no more than 10 years old. She has long, attractive and slender legs, skin that is better than snow, long black hair, exquisite and petite body. She is a beautiful embryo. Even if it is the face part was blank, Yuan Yang was also able to feel an immortal aura from his body. That kind of aura is looming, very mysterious and mysterious. Even after watching it for a long time, there is a vague sense of confusion. It seems that this girl will come out of the picture scroll completely soon. It's nothing, condense your formation pattern well. If it really comes to the last minute, maybe you will have to rely on you, the master of the battle formation, to save your life. Yun Qi's face changed, and then he stretched out his jade hand and gently stroked Yuan Yang's forehead, but the picture scroll on the desk was slightly folded by him. With Yun Qi's current soul power in the immortal ascension boundary, in conjunction with some ancient secret methods, it is natural to be able to vaguely perceive the mysterious power in the body. Being fondled and caressed by Yun Qi, Yuan Yang simply buried her forehead on Yun Qi's long legs and closed her eyes with a look of enjoyment. Now Yun Qi is just like her own sister, with a very close relationship. Unusual. Girl, do you really think there is a asterisk in this world? Yun Qi's beautiful eyes were filled with endless voids, and then she looked up at the void in the distance, opening her mouth like a lost soul. I don't know, but Xiao Yang seems to be very close to that realm. Yuan Yang shook her head vigorously. Those realms were too far for them. What if there is an enemy that even Xiao Yang can't beat? I don't know, but I will use all my strength to protect my home, my friend. This is what Xiao Yang has said from beginning to end. Sister Yun Qi, what happened to you? At this moment, Yuan Yang was also keenly aware of what was wrong with the other party, and then one jumped up and stood up directly, her big red eyes staring at Yun Qi like a little girl who did something wrong. From the Ghost Realm to the Endless Fire Realm, on the one hand, it is to help the Endless Flame Realm, and on the other hand, I also want to improve the attainment of the Battle Formation Master. During this period, the relationship between the two guys has long been like siblings. It's okay. The cycle of fate seems to have begun. Yun Qi pretended to be mysterious, and continued to add to the woman in the picture after speaking. She wanted to use her own method to win a chance for this great world, no matter what her final result was. Because Xiao Yang inadvertently activated the 4 spirit beads in his body, causing the power of the lotus leaves in the shrine to surge, the mysterious power in Yun Qi's body was also called upon and woke up at a very fast speed. It's just that Xiao Yang is deep in the guardian of the heavens, in the realm of Fa Maid, plus the mysterious people hiding in the dark, and now he is all focused on the 2 Xeons in the black and white scorching sun, so he has not captured the most critical scene that is happening now. The base camp of the Buddhist world, the decisive battleground of the Second World War. The flames of war were flying, the smoke of gunpowder was everywhere, and countless bloodlights flashed, and the whole battle situation looked extremely miserable. The armies on both sides thoroughly fought to the death, and the whole world was filled with a thick and sticky ***** smell. Bang! The heavenly demon Holy Emperor dealt with the Holy King, and the Darkborn ghosts dealt with Xiao Tianming. The 2 battle circles were just shot down, and the monstrous energy beams exploded everywhere. The space was shaken, and the sky and the earth were pale. Buzz! After one blow, the body of the heavenly demon Holy Emperor trembled uncontrollably, as if some kind of terrifying power was pouring out of his body. This is Earth Spirit Pearl? Why does this one of the keys to Paradise Lost make such a fuss now? What on earth is it? Above the blood coffin, the heavenly demon Holy Emperor's mind gradually became uneasy, and then he looked at the Holy King solemnly. In this battle, the overall strength of the extraterritorial evil clan is not enough for the Great Thousand Alliance, but now they have the blessing of countless blood coffins and evil formations, allowing them to be evenly matched with each other. If there is a change at this time, I am afraid. What happened? Seeing the sudden sluggish appearance of the heavenly demon Sage Emperor, Xiao Tianming and others gathered around the room, staring at each other with some doubts. It seems that there is some kind of terrible power that is gathering rapidly. Kaylin and Yoon Yoon were suddenly startled, and their beautiful eyes and heart became restless at the same time. The source of the restlessness seemed to be the flower god seal in the body and the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Guru, you see. Before the voices of the two women fell, at the end of this world, suddenly there was a dazzling cloud of flames, quietly peeling off everything in this world, and then accompanied by countless colorful thunders, falling from the sky. In the blazing clouds surrounded by thunder, it shook all the creatures in the Buddha world like the wrath of the sky. And not far behind him, a round of beautiful black and white scorching sun is also slowly moving, followed closely behind. When the Holy King, the heavenly demon Holy Emperor, and others saw the flames and clouds, all the demigod power in the body almost instantly solidified, and an emotion of adoration crept into their hearts unconsciously. This is quasi-god rank. After a long time, Xiao Tianming's face was filled with indescribable joy. Quite. Quasi-god rank. Listening to Xiao Tianming's excited voice, the countless fighting allied forces stopped their offensives one after another, and looked at the top of this dark world with some incomprehension. In the dim world, it has long been eroded by countless blood coffins, and there is a terrifying evil formation with no specific effect. The suffocation quickly disappeared, and an unprecedented hot breath rushed to the face. It seems that everything these extraterritorial evil races do, in front of the ruler above the sky, is as insignificant as ants. Looking up, there was a sudden sound of low thunder at the top of the dim void. In the extremely gorgeous thundercloud, countless flames and thunder turned into giant dragons, which continued to erupt. Voice. Countless terrifying lei weiss that surpass everyone's cognition continue to converge and emerge, as if resisting and testing something. That's Xiao Yang. Master Xiao. In an instant, at the moment when the countless thunderclouds were whistling rapidly, a thin black shadow was suspended in the thunderclouds, and the countless thousands of coalition troops behind couldn't help roaring excitedly. Xiao Yang. At this moment, the two semigod rank powerhouses such as the heavenly demon Sage Emperor and the dark descendant Shadow trembled slightly, their dark eyes staring at Xiao Yang in the thundering clouds, and their brows were invariably tightened. Compared with the previous Xiao Yang, the current Xiao Yang is undoubtedly many times more powerful. Looks like he failed. After a short while, the shadow of the dark descendants slowly waved, and completely stabilized the countless evil creatures hidden in the evil formation, and then the expressions of the two of them gradually filled with a resolute madness. Tianhu, Fa tried to stop the suppression of Xiao Yang and failed. However, even in today's dangerous scene, they did not show any panic. It seems that they already have a perfect plan for this scene, but the price is too huge, and they will not try it easily until the last minute. The quasi-god catastrophe. Let's use this quasi-god catastrophe to suppress and obliterate the demon-killing catastrophe outside the realm. Xiao Yang's footsteps slowly walked in the void thunder layer, and then his deep eyes stared at the endless top of the sky. Almost at the same moment, all the power in the body volatilized to the extreme. Quasi-divine tribulation, such a divine power that surpasses the balance of heaven and earth. If one is not careful, I am afraid that today's Xiao Yang will also be turned into dust under his vast divine power. However, because of the power of Tianshang and the mysterious lotus leaves of the shrine in Xiao Yang's body, Xiao Yang's Fenju has completely stepped into the fifth realm, and his strength has also broken through to the quasi-god rank. He raised his head, a faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and then the power of the devil and the power of reincarnation in the body was completely restrained, and replaced by a dazzling holy flame. Even Xiao Yang today is also impressive from this kind of quasi-god. Over the robbery, I felt an unpredictable pressure. However, as long as he can successfully survive the quasi-divine calamity, the foreign evil race is naturally not afraid. It's just that he needs time and a lot of strength. Even today's Xiao Yang can't seem calm when facing the catastrophe. After all, this is the highest level between heaven and earth, and the oppression and danger are self-evident. The power of heaven and earth is really mysterious. Looking at the colorless and transparent vast thunder, Lei Yun, Saint King and Xiao Tianming shook their heads slightly, but there was a touch of envy in their eyes. HMPH. Want to use this to completely kill my clan? A fool's dream thing. Facing Xiao Yang's incomparably arrogant tone, the heavenly demon Sage Emperor suddenly sneered, and immediately the blood coffin behind him was surging slowly, and the blood-colored lines on it boiled, like a living thing falling off continuously. Then all of them were imprinted on his skin. In an instant, as the ancient evil pattern on the blood coffin was imprinted on the skin of the heavenly demon Sage Emperor, The heavenly demon Sage Emperor's evil power that had been staying at the peak of the demigod rank also began to expand rapidly, and there were vague fluctuations that broke through the boundaries. Exist. The evil lines on the blood coffin seemed to contain endless evil power. You can't let him swallow it, otherwise the consequences will be unimaginable. At this moment, the thoughtful Kaelin and Yunyun fluctuated violently, and then lost their voices. I don't know why, under the actions of the heavenly demon Sage Emperor, the power of the 10-colored swallowing python and the flower ***** seal in the two people released a strong crisis. You must buy time for this kid. The whole army obeys the order and swears to defend the void. Boom. Just as Xiao Tianming and the Holy King's two strong voices fell, the countless strong men of the Great Thousand Alliance joined the enemy, and endless divine power poured out one after another, and immediately formed majestic defensive light shields in front of everyone and Xiao Yang. The dazzling energy circulation in the light shield seems to be enough to resist the full blow of a demigod powerhouse. Susu, your opponent is me. At this moment, the shadow of the Dark Descendants was the first to emerge from the evil formation, and then a pale and infiltrating face leaked out, and said in a chilling tone. Then the shadow of the Dark Descendants appeared, and the countless blood coffins in the latter's evil formation began to surge. One after another flew towards the body of the Emperor of the Devil, and then injected into the latter's body little by little, and the waves became more evil and surging. The endless evil brilliance also began to pour out from the bottom of the evil formation, and there was a faint trace of rivalry with Xiao Yang above the sky. Your strength can't stop us. In the face of such a death-defying act of the Darkborn Phantom, the Holy King said with a smile. Then try it. Blood bubbles the size of a dragon's eye continued to appear all over the shadow of the Dark Descendant, and the whole body looked even more evil. The holy fire is shining, Qian Yang is summoned. Holy flame dragon pillar. The Holy King naturally knows the seriousness of the current situation. Of course, once the shot is taken, the dazzling silver-white holy flame bursts out from the body, and then under the control of his exquisite mind, the endless holy flame turns into a line full of ancient sacred flames. A fluctuating beam of flame. Immediately, the Holy King stretched out his palm and lightly tapped the shadow of the Dark Descendants in the air, and the flame beam flew away. In the face of such a devastating attack from the Holy King, the Darkborn Ghost did not show any signs of dodging and retreating, and his body swelled violently, as if he wanted to directly use his body to resist the opponent's attack. The flaming beam of light just touched the body of the Darkborn Ghost on the indestructible body of the latter, but a strange burst of endless suction force, and then forcefully sucked the Holy King's attack into the body. How is this possible? Hiss. At this moment, watching such a bizarre scene, the hearts of countless Great Thousand Allied powers felt a heavy feeling in their hearts. The Holy King, who is as powerful as the pinnacle of the demigod, is actually so vulnerable to the attack of the second holy flame on the list of holy flames in the Great Thousand Worlds. You must know that the strength of the shadowy shadow is worthy of being promoted to the demigod level. This guy's behavior doesn't seem right. At this moment, Xiao Tianming waved his hand, and also stopped the offensive along with the Holy King, shrouded him one after another, his eyes kept rolling, and he watched the dark shadow phantom vigilantly. Based on the perceptions of the two of them, it is naturally not difficult to find some strange traces on the body of the shadow of the Dark Descendants, but the attack of the Holy King just now did not leave any injuries to the latter. This is simply incredible. Bang! After a while, a dazzling crack suddenly appeared in the evil formation not far from a few people, and then there was a sky-penetrating beam of light rising into the sky. Above the changing body, and with such a strange change, the breath of the heavenly demon Saint Emperor actually had a wave of fluctuations that belonged to the Saint King. He is absorbing the strength of the senior Holy King and Tianming, and constantly feeding back to the Holy Emperor. The heavenly demon Sage Emperor has the aura of the two of them, resulting in sufficient attribute resistance. I am afraid that even if the strength of the two of them is gathered, it will be difficult to deal with. This guy is just a lunatic. At this moment, Yaroji, Lei Zhu and several other strong men had rare worries on their faces, and then the beautiful eyes became extremely difficult to look at. I'd like to see how many times your demon body can resist my attacks. In this regard, Xiao Tianming snorted coldly, the majestic demigod breaths continued to gather around him, his eyes were full of silent fluctuations, and hot energy tides continued to ripple in the void around him, and the energy tides surged and spread, and the evil creatures in the dark void were completely shaken. Humph! Let the horses come over. Darkborn demon body, evil ****** shelter. In the face of the siege of the two peak demigods, the shadow of the Dark Descendants is also under great pressure. If it weren't for the evil pattern that was rewarded by the leader of the outside world on his body, I am afraid that he would not be able to easily take any attack from the two of them. After all, the gap between the early stage of the demigod and the peak of the demigod is too big. Divine law, God-killing strike. The Holy King was constantly surrounded by silver-white flames, and then a magnificent giant ruler with pleated folds appeared out of thin air. Just as the ruler of the gods appeared, it brought an unprecedented huge visual impact. It seems that there is no one in the world that can resist the attack of the Holy King that destroys everything. The second holy flame, the god execution ruler in its complete state, combined with the strength of the pinnacle of the demigod rank, such an offensive can be said to be extremely fierce. The afterglow of fire, endless brilliance. Xiao Tianming also smiled faintly. Seeing such a terrifying offensive of the Holy King, he immediately formed a seal with his hands, and a piercing scorching sun flashed out, causing the entire void to vibrate violently. Two divine arts came to this place in an instant, and one of the creatures was completely wiped away. Boom! Looking at the two terrifying offensives rolling in, an indescribable fear finally emerged from the depths of the dark shadow's pupils. With his perception, he naturally knew that if this battle unfolded, he would definitely lose. But if he retreats, the countless evil creatures behind will face the end of both body and spirit. Looking at the two demigod-level powerhouses who were slaughtered like a god's mansion, the body of the Darkborn ghost was on fire, and bursts of dark magic fire rose, and then the huge palm was grasped against the void, and countless voids between heaven and earth collapsed. Broken apart, a round of profound blood-colored giant mouths emerged out of thin air, with vague traces of rivalry. Bang! The three attacks collided quietly, the entire dim world collapsed in an instant, countless evil auras fled everywhere, and even the space became countless space fragments, like spars shattered, making bursts of soul-shattering sounds. Blood light rose into the sky, and after a while, I saw a dying blood-colored light vacating the center of the explosion, and it seemed to flee towards the evil formation that had shattered most of it. Where are you going? Just as the shadow of the dark descendants fled quickly, the Holy King's body appeared strangely in the space where the latter escaped, raised his fingers covered with silver holy patterns, and tapped it gently. Sacred flames spewed out, and instantly turned into a flaming beam of light with a size of 10,000 zhong. Just touching the last trace of the origin of the Darkborn ghost, the evil lines on the latter's body quickly melted like residual ice encountering raging fire. At this moment, the minds of countless evil beings in the evil formation were shocked, and a sky-shaking roar roared in their eyes and souls. Heavenly Protector, the encirclement and suppression of Xiao Yan failed. Darkspawn failed. In addition to the underworld, the kingdom of angels, and today's foreign evil races, the powerhouse beyond the reincarnation level is only the heavenly demon Sage Emperor. With such strength, how can he compete with the great thousand world? After solving the shadow of the dark descendants, the two holy kings did not stop, and they swept away in front of the evil formation one after another. They knew that they had to stop the demon Holy Emperor, so that Xiao Yang could successfully pass the robbery, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. In the high sky, countless gorgeous flame clouds completely covered the quasi-divine calamity. Xiao Yang knew that the power of divine arts had already left the world full of holes. If the quasi-divine calamity fell out of nowhere, it would not only affect the evil races outside the realm. On the body, even these coalition forces in the great thousand worlds cannot be avoided. At that time, the situation of losing both sides is obviously not what he is happy to see. Buzz. The body steps on the gorgeous clouds, and the almost colorless and transparent thunderclouds above the head are filled with some suffocating fluctuations. It seems that they are the guardians of the same god level. If they want to obtain the supernatural power that is enough to shake the world, they must pass the assessment of the other party. Bang! After a while, the colorless thunder cloud suddenly surged slightly, and then a chaotic shimmer of light descended from the sky first, and it shot into Xiao Yang's body as soon as it arrived. Boom! When that seemingly inconspicuous chaotic glimmer penetrated into Xiao Yang's body, the latter's entire body seemed to be severely injured, and suddenly shook. All the forces in the body were completely disordered. Immediately above the entire body, the skin was filled with the numbness of electric shock, and even in the pores, there were countless chaotic thunder lights looming, and there were vague traces of Xiao Yang's body being completely broken. This is... At this moment, Xiao Yang's brows wrinkled, and then the power in his body almost solidified for a while, and it seemed that he would not listen to his orders for a short time. Roar! At this critical moment, the dragon god bone behind him suddenly surged, and countless brilliant radiance spewed out. The majestic divine power contained in it was so intense that it turned into a colorful auspicious dragon dormant beside Xiao Yang, constantly dissolving. With the change brought by the chaotic shimmer. Catcher, but even with the protection of the colorful dragon, Xiao Yang's body is still bursting out of broken bodies, the fusion of the power of the devil, the bone of the dragon god. Early having stepped into the realm of the gods, he is almost the most powerful body in this world. Under this so-called quasi-divine calamity, he is as weak and powerless as a child. Buzz. Above the thunder cloud in the sky, countless chaotic shimmering lights continued to fall, and the thunderstorms surrounded each other, as if they wanted to kill Xiao Yang completely, and as more and more thunder disasters came, Xiao Yang's face was also approaching. In calm. Those chaotic glimmers of thunder were naturally an unspeakable disaster for Xiao Yang, but after thinking about it, is this not a great fortune? This video will end here.